Hi, from the Cannon Academy Homeschool. Well, if you're keeping up on all of the videos I'm hoping to post today, the first one being on how our homeschool was different this year, then you'll know why I still have not been to the dentist, why I have all this stuff piled up behind me and things. As we're getting ready to go to a remodel, I've been helping out an elderly aunt this year. My youngest grandchildren went to public school this year. It's just been me and my oldest grandson, great grandson. I am off my cancer treatments, at least for now, and have been since August. My cancer is stabilized at the moment. My son is still doing treatments and seems to be holding his own and doing well. My daughter is back to work. She had something devastating happen in her life this year. I won't go into it now without her permission, but it's life. My husband had a stroke a few months ago. It was a small stroke, but there are days where he has issues with walking and things like that, and I'm noticing a lot of differences as time goes by, and there are other days he's fully alert and walks fast and hardly uses the cane and everything. So there we are. That was a quick run through. This video is about some of the things I did with the math book, trying to make it easier on myself and on my great grandson. I've tried to use these in the past with the other two as well. So I went through a thing where I would run copies of the lessons out of the math book. And this is my copy because I do not have an answer manual. To get an answer manual for this particular math book series that I purchased off of eBay, you have to really search it out on eBay, and then everybody wants a ton of money to get it, because these textbooks came with math answer books and math teachers manuals, as well as the math book, and all I have are the math books. So that's that. Now, I just did another video that I'm posting later on tonight that talks about the chapter review. And this year we're going to do like I did with my daughter way back when she was at home and studying. We're going to use our chapter reviews as study guides. And I will be doing that for the math book as well as a 5th grade science book that I have. And then if I end up using a history textbook, we'll do the same. But right now we're reading through literature like Little House on the Prairie series. We may read the Louisa May Alcott series, Little Women, Little Men, Rose and Bloom Make Cousins, Under the Lilacs, things like that. We are also thinking about using the Dear America series for history, which I know that one will take us several years to get through because I have like over 30-40 copies. So that's that. So back to the math, some things that I wanted to say because I don't have the answer book. When I made these, I ran copies and done it, and I've done things like this where I type it up myself and then I go back and work the problems. Sometimes I just sit and work them out as my great-grandson is working them out. But I'm keeping those so that if and when future generations, whether I'm the one using the book or my daughter or my son are using it with their kids, the answers will be there. Now, sometimes I'm not so nice and neat. I don't label what page it was or anything, and I just kind of slop through it. On another token, if you have children that do not line up their numbers correctly, you can use graph paper. Now this is the smaller graph paper, of course, and I just kind of slot through it, showing my grandson up here, my great-grandson, how to line the numbers up and make them fit according to what size he wrote in. And this one, just for explanation of why it looks wonky, I am left-handed, and he wanted me to do it right-handed, so that's it. Now, this graph paper comes in this size. The flip side of this is smaller. You can get like half-inch squares. If you look really hard, you can find the 1-inch square graph paper. And I suggest that maybe if you have a copier, that you print extras out so you're not running to the needing to make a store run at the last minute, or need to order it online at the last minute, and things like that. It does help. This helps. This page was fractions, and I had a copy of his that he did with addition and subtraction on it, and it was beautiful, and I meant to save it, and I think he has taken it and taken it home. But it works for all the different math applications, and it really does help them line those numbers up, which is really important when you get into the larger multiplication problems and the division problems, because sometimes the kids tend to get confused and they forget which number goes with what column because they didn't line them up, so they go to add all that up on the multiplication problems and come out the wrong answer, and there's no room for them to carry, which they're used to doing, and things like that, until they get used to those problems. Where if you have graph paper, you can figure out what size will work best until they get used to it, and then they have room to carry, borrow if they need to for the subtraction in a division problem, things like that. And if you have it on hand, then you can also do something fun later. You can come up with your own battleship game on paper. You can do the box, make the squares like we used to do, the boxes, and initial if you were the one that finished the box. Different things like that. So that's pretty much what I have on the math and everything. And again, you have to do what works for you, what works for your child. If they do better with doing their math with a crayon or a marker, because to them it makes it different and colorful, I would go for it. I still don't think I would let them do math with ink until they were at least 7th or 8th grade and had a firm grasp of all of the different math operations and things. Where was I going with that one? I have so many ideas in my head, and I've kind of skipped around on my notes as usual. Other ways to make math fun is I have the little individual chalk slates, and we'll get those out, and we have like I have little baby washcloths from when my older kids were young, and I took those and we used those to erase with, because I don't have enough chalk erasers, and they love to just sit and do math problems on the chalkboard, and then they can erase it and be done with that one and move on to the next and everything. And the rule is, when you have your problem worked out, don't show it to anybody. Keep it close without not being on your clothes, and then when everybody's done, everybody turns it around, shows their answers, and I tell them if they're right or wrong. And if they're wrong, we go over and try to figure out where they went wrong. But they like that better than writing the problems out, which I was starting to do with all 3 of the kids towards the end of last year. like the spring of 2025. My great-grandson, he is taken to that and likes to write them out for the most part. Occasionally he will say, if I can get the answer in my head, can I just write it down? If it's something that we're just learning, I will say, no, I need to see your work so I know if there's some place in the steps of working this type of problem that you might need help with. If it's something that I know he grasped, yeah, in a flat minute, yeah, just write the answer. I know what the answer is, and we'll just go from there. And I have explained that whether he gets to stay with me through all of his homeschool, or has to go to public school, or even doesn't attend public school till high school or college, there will be some times the teachers or professors will say, just give me the answer. And there'll be other times where he'll have to show his work and stuff. So I want him to be prepared and everything. So again, those are some little tricks about what we're doing with math and how to make it easier on everybody, including myself. So I'm going to sign off. This is a little bit shorter than I usually do, but not too short. And hope you have a good week. See you next time.